rather be told the truth than try to be comforted with something that's untrue and false.
Okay. So love for you is someone that's honest and truthful,
Yes.
assertive.
Yes.
Have you all heard the word assertiveness?
Yes.
Can you give me an example, someone? Because this is very important with what she just said.
Assertiveness is when you say, and despite what other people might think, just saying, I really don't like it when you do this. I don't appreciate it when you do this. Can we work something together?
Okay, that's a way to do it. Yes, and being assertive is, if we put it in a broader perspective, it's about talking to others about your needs, your expectations, in a way that everybody feels respected, in a way that the differences are there, and you're not saying they're wrong or you're right. It's just, this is how I feel. So instead of saying you did this to me, another way would be, I feel this way when someone says this to me. Because it's not someone making you feel some way, because I can tell you you're yellow and someone might be feeling bad about it, but other person is like, I'm not yellow, so I don't feel bad about it. So it's how you perceive it, and instead of blaming the other for how you feel, you say, I feel this way when I see something like this, or when this happens, or I'm not used to people treating me this way, right? So it's saying how you feel. Thank you. Okay, another example of what you talked with your partner? Yes? It's not so fun when we can't always catch it, I'm sorry. I'm not such a good thrower.
I think I feel loved when I feel heard. And like, you can always tell when someone's really listening to you, or if they're just sort of like they're typing, or especially on the phone, like if you're talking to someone on the phone, I notice when there's long pauses and things like that, and I will often say, well, I'll let you go, call me when you have a moment. And they'll be like, no, it's good, I'm here, and they're not, right? And that's a real turnoff for me, to not feel heard. I think everybody has a voice, and we teach people to use their voices, so when you're shut down, it's really disappointing, and it's unfair.
And it's good that you say, hey, I'll let you finish what you're doing, but it would be even more direct and more assertive to say, it's very important for me to feel heard. And that's why I would like to have more real time with you. And I feel like you're doing something else, and just call me when you have time.
Yeah.
Call me when you have time.
I used to not say that, but then I feel hurt. And I feel like, well, they really weren't listening to me. Like, I heard them typing, I heard them, doing other things, and I would be hurt by that, but I would never say anything. But I've learned to use my voice in a positive way and just let them know that another time, when you have time, right? Or something along those lines.
So that's a huge step.
Yeah.
That's a huge step. And in the other extreme, it would be someone that calls you to complain, and be there 40 minutes, and you're still listening to them, and you're listening because you're a good listener, and you're listening, but they're taking up your time.
And you can't do anything for them.
But you can say, hey, you can start, I'm recording this, but you can start by saying, I'm kind of busy at the moment. May we talk about it some other time? And then you can take a bigger step and say, I think complaining doesn't get us anywhere. Is there something I can help you with? Because I don't know if you've noticed, but some people that complain about the same thing forever. And they don't change anything. I wish I would stop smoking. So, I hear you complaining about smoking. If you want to stop smoking, let me know. But if not, let's talk about something different. Let's talk about something use our time wisely.
Right.
Thank you, Caroline. Huge step there. Okay, somebody else that would like to share. What's safe? I mean, love and loving. Yes? Oh! One hand.
Wow.
Show off.
I heard that.
Just having someone present and knowing that they're there for you and that they are they're like available for whatever you need.
Isn't that nice, huh? And even those people, when they can't listen to you at the moment, like Carolyn was saying, and like you're saying, hey, at the moment I can't, I'm doing something else right now, can I call you back?
Mm-hmm.
So it's three different sides of the same story that Caroline was talking about. Thank you. Okay. So feeling loved and loving, it's essential for gentle teaching, right? And the 5 languages of love. Have you heard of the 5 languages of love, anybody? Yes? Do you remember the author? Gary Chapman? So this is very interesting, it's very easy, and it's even fun to answer these questions. They have, I think, I can send Caroline or Rosa the link that you do a little, you answer some questions, and it tells you which is your language of love, your preferred language of love, how you prefer to express your love. And it's very interesting because for me, I love giving gifts. I love giving gifts. And for other people, gifts are nothing. They're nothing because they want quality time. For other people, if you don't tell them words of affirmation, then you don't love them. So some other people, it's like, what are you doing for me? You're only telling me how this and that, but you're not doing something for me. You see, so these 5 languages of love, words of affirmation. Do you give words of affirmation to your how many of you have a partner right now? Raise your hand. Do you give words of affirmation to your partner?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Do you give words of affirmation to your co-workers? Oh my God, Rosa, you have the best team here.
I do.
She does. She says, I do. That's a word of affirmation from Rosa to all of you. Excellent. And it's great that you hear it from her, not only from me, right? You get a paycheck, that's great. You're doing your job, but it's great words of affirmation from Rosa, from your co-workers, from your participants. When they give you a present, when they tell you, oh, good to see you, I missed you. Isn't that beautiful? When they give you hugs, the touch, which is the 5th one. When they hug you or they give your hand and they look at you like, oh my God, I was lost without you for 2 days. Right? Your children. It's interesting, I went with Dr. McGee in 2012, I think it was, or 2011. We went to the Netherlands and Belgium to give some training. Well, he was giving the trainings. I was there learning with him. And I said to him, I'm just going to hug everyone as if it's something from Puerto Rico, because they don't know anybody from Puerto Rico, right? So I'm just hugging everybody, and some of them are like, oh, what's this lady? And then Dr. McGee started talking about safe, love, loving, and engaged. And I think it was like 4 days or 3 days. And at the end, I did an interview with some of them, and you can see them on my YouTube channel. And I did this interview for them, and they're like, you know what? I took this a step further, and I started hugging my children and my wife. And I started hugging. Some of them said, because physical touch is not an expression of love for some people because they didn't learn it at home. They learned it from words of affirmation, or people were there for them, the quality time, or the acts of service. So it depends which one you learned at home. This is the one that you're probably using more. But how about getting an A in all 5 of them? You know? How about trying to use all 5 of them consciously? with your coworkers, with your partner, with your children, with yourself. With yourself. How many of you have quality time once a week at least? Okay, the others, you need to work on it. You need quality time. You need rest. You need to love yourself. I want to make I want to jump in with a little exercise. Write 3 good qualities that you have. 3 good qualities that you have. Yes, ma'am.
I let you. I haven't had it. There's one at the back.
I got it right here. Okay, don't copy from the neighbor. No, no copying. Don't ask other people either. You have to know your best qualities better than anybody else. And if you don't, take the time to think about it. It's very important to know your good qualities.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can say, I brush my teeth very well in the morning. Anything that you brush with, that you like. I brush my hair beautifully.
Water flossers, no, you should get one, I love it.
Okay, ready?
No.
Some people have some stickers in the back that say love, loving, and engage in the back. Who doesn't have? Who doesn't have a sticker or a window thingy that says safe, love, loving, and engage?
You have
Somebody else doesn't have? Okay.
Nope.
Okay, let's hear from some of you. Let's hear from some of you.
I'm nice.
Nice. Very good. Are you nice to yourself?
No, she's not.
Wait a second. What's your name again? Is it a double personality here, or what is it, a twin ship or something? What's your name?
Amber.
Amber. Are you nice to yourself, would you say?
Sometimes.
Okay, that's a very good question. I have a very good answer, sorry. Sometimes. Because sometimes we are not nice to ourselves. And I would say most of us are like that. It's a good thing to know about yourself. So would you like to be nicer to yourself?
Of course.
Of course, that's a great answer. So what can you start doing to be nicer to yourself?
When I go into negative, I try and switch it to a positive.
Yeah, how to do that though?
Tegan usually tells me.
What if she's not around?
She calls me.
What if she's unreachable?
Oh Lord, that's a problem. I don't know.
You can start doing the what ifs.
I'll do the what ifs. There we go. High fives.
Yes. And she needs some quality time, you know, so try more what ifs. A little more time. Okay, who else? Thank you. Who else can say something good about themselves? Yes?
I believe I own up to my mistakes.
Can you be a little bit louder?
Someone is doubting. Oh. I think I own up to my mistakes.
It's good that she said, I think I own up to my mistakes, because nobody does it all the time either, you know? And that's very important, to own up to your mistakes. I don't know that many people that can do it, or say it that they do it, or say that they do it sometimes. That's very good. That's very good. A good quality.
I would say I am a good friend.
A good friend. Excellent. How many of you say you are a good friend? I'm kind of a good friend, but not really. I'm talking about myself. And it's interesting because when she said nice, she was saying, meaning she was nice to other people. When Caroline says she's a good friend, she says she's being a good friend to other people. You said owning up to your mistakes, that's yours, okay. But most people will give good qualities about themselves that talks about others. Especially us in the caring field.
Yeah.
How many of you wrote, I am smart? Raise your hand. Only one person, but I know you're all smart because you're here. How many of you are responsible? Raise your hand. Yeah, because you're here. How many of you are cooperating with your country? Raise your hand. All of you, you're working here. Oh! There are so many. How many of you are creatives? How many of you are handsome or beautiful? How many of you can cook good? How many of you use an instrument? How many of you are good writers? How many of you are good drivers? Some of you. I know Caroline is. Find good qualities about yourself. Am I honest? Am I kind to myself? To myself. Because why? It's good to have qualities that help other people, but what good qualities do you have about yourself? Okay, that's very important. And the way we express love and loving, if you go to these, can you give me one example of quality time? Yes.
Making a special date with your partner, saying, hey, be ready at 7 o'clock, we're going out somewhere, I'm taking you out somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. How about us getting together at 7 o'clock for a date?
Just you and I.
Instead of, get ready for 7 o'clock, I'm taking you.
Well, it's just depending on who you're with. Like,
But it's the words, I'm just saying it's the words that like them. Because your intentions are beautiful,
right.
but if my boyfriend came up to me and said, get ready, I'm picking you up at 7, I'm like, what is this? Remember, I don't like people telling me what to do.
But what if he said it with like a hint in his eye, or he was like,
Oh, with the,
like,
Taking
like,
over,
like,
taking
hey,
charge.
hey, get ready for 7 o'clock.
yeah,
That's different.
right?
Excellent. And you had an example also?
Just sitting alone and analyzing about what you're doing in your life on some nature side or on the lake side.
Yes, thank you. He was telling me about nature. If I like nature, I love nature. I go to the beach all the time. So nature is very important because it reconnects you with yourself. We are in air conditioning, artificial lights, phone, TV, computers. Reconnecting with yourself, Mother Earth, especially in Canada, you're very conscious about Mother Earth, right? I've heard it every day at the Gentle Teaching Conference, and it's beautiful. So reconnecting with Mother Earth, and people say, "Oh, are you a tree hugger?" I am, but you don't need to hug a tree. You can just pet your dog. You can say hello to your plant in the morning and just touch the leaves. Anything. If you can't go and walk in the lake, or bicycle around, or walk around the neighborhood, do something in nature, definitely. And examples of physical touch, other than hugging, what other examples?
High fives.
High fives, what else? Dancing. You can, with one hand, you can dance, right? I remember working in a juvenile detention center. I'm not going to use an example again. And I couldn't hug them, of course. I was 32 and they were 9 to 19 men, the years, 9 years to 19. So this was my kiss and this was my hug. Can you come up here? Show them? So whenever I saw one of them, this was my kiss, a handshake, and with the other hand, this was my hug. So I'm kissing and hugging them. Thank you.
Sorry, why couldn't you hug them?
Because it could be misinterpreted, and these were young men. A lot of testosterone going on. Yes, that's right.
Makes sense.
They could misinterpret it. Yes. And so there are many ways. Put your hand here.
Tapping.
Yeah, tapping on the back. The two hands, the dancing, the shaking of the hand. Many, many, many ways that we can do the physical touch. And I'm touching to find the remote control. Okay, any questions so far?
Can you elaborate on acts of service?
Act of service, of course. Do you need to paint your house? Can I help you paint your house? You mentioned you're painting your house. Do you need any help? You mentioned you need to get your car fixed. Can I pick you up at your car place? Acts of service. Without the other asking us.
Take out the trash.
Acts of service. Rosa brought me water. That's an act of service. Caroline picked me up and Michael at 10:30 p.m. when she was feeling really bad a couple of days ago. Please give her a round of applause. Thank you, Caroline. She's the best. I mean, you're all the best, right? So those are acts of service. Any questions so far?
Doing the laundry for your wife.
Mine too.
The laundry for your wife.
Yeah. Even if you do it once a month, there might be something you don't like to do that your partner does or your child does. Taking the trash out, or feeding one of the dogs with the fish, or doing the laundry, or doing dishes, or cooking. Do it once in a while, just to relieve them from this thing that nobody likes to do but somebody does. Or say, honey, I love that you cook and I don't, but here's a certificate to go get your nails done.
Hey, can I give you my husband's number?
Or you can tell your husband, hey honey, go play football with your friends. I'll take care of the lawn, or I don't know if that's a lot, but you know what I mean, right? Okay. Engage. I think this is the hardest part. Having someone feel engaged with the group, with the community. And I was talking about it earlier when I have worked with psychiatric patients, adult chronic psychiatric male patients in Puerto Rico when I was 26. And it was a bit challenging for me in the beginning, but then when I realized, because they're like, oh, you have to be careful, they're gonna hit you. The first day I went in there, my supervisor was like, okay, just stand beside me and we'll walk together. And I was like, oh my God, these people are gonna kill me. But he was afraid for me. After I worked there for like a month, I knew their names, they knew my names, and I was always shaking their hands, saying hello, how are you doing, bon appetit when they're eating, can I help you with this, can I help you with that. I did a group therapy for these male who were diagnosed with chronic mental illness and whatever. And I had a little office, and I would bring 7 and 8 of them for a group session, and my boss would look in the window and be like, you're crazy. You're bringing 7 people, 7 male psychiatric patients into your office with no nurse? Because I was like, no, the nurses can't be in here. It's me and them. It's nobody else. But then I realized one thing that was missing in these wards and was interaction amongst themselves. So this is what I'm inviting you to not only interact yourself with your clients, but find ways to have them interact amongst themselves, also with the children and with your husband or your wives. Try to find ways to interact, all of you, not only a one-on-one. Because, for example, you might go somewhere and say, and one participant can introduce you to everybody that works there, but they don't know the name of the other participants. Because we are interacting with them, but not amongst themselves. So that really helps with the engagement. Also, if you're asking someone, like, I try not to ask how you're doing today, because you don't know what they're gonna answer, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. Stay happy. That's what I say. I don't say how you doing today. I don't know. Because you don't know if they're feeling well or not, and if I don't have the time to listen, if I have the time to listen, I will ask. But if I don't, because if not, they're like, or somebody's like, hi, how are you doing? Good. How are you doing? Good. And then, what's that, like a recording? Just bzz, bzz. Someone's coming. Bzz, bzz. Be intentional with your words. Be intentional with your actions. Live intentionally. And I'm going to ask you to write one word that you want the rest of the year to be your north. For the rest of the year, we have October, November, December. Choose one word. I love joy, I love relaxed, I love wisdom, bliss, but it can be content, it can be good, it can be not sad, hopeful, engaged. Find one word. Grateful, appreciative. This is an act of service. She brought me water. Rosa brought me water first, and she brought me a whole mug. Okay, can someone share their word with us? Am I gonna oh. Thank you.
Harmonious.
Harmonious, great. What else? Oh, what else? Who else wants to share?
Peaceful.
Peaceful, great. What else?
Thankful.
Thankful, lovely. What else?
Oh.
Ah,
Happy.
happy, great. And I have this yellow ball here because a friend of mine from Puerto Rico I met in Florida before, and she gives them away at her office. But I also have 2 more to give away later. So I hope this word, write it everywhere as a password, for your computer, for your phone. Write it in your refrigerator. Write it in your mirror in your bathroom. Let this word lead your way. Put it in your mirror with lipstick or a magic marker for glass. Write that word everywhere. Tell everyone your special word for the rest of the year, so that it helps you remember this word, okay? Anybody else want to share the word?
Calm.
Yeah. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay. So engage. Another thing that helps people feel engaged is ask questions and then follow up. That's where I was going earlier. I was like, where was I going with the story about the hellos? And it's if you're gonna ask a question, find a way to follow up. Not just ask a question and then don't follow up. So that takes time, it takes energy, it takes memory. Right, Troy? Use creative words to get opinion instead of asking, do you like this? What did you like the most about this? What did you feel most excited about during the last week? What did you like the most about last week? Ask your children. Don't ask your children, how was school? How was school? Did you have fun with your friends? What did you do that was fun today? Did you learn something today in school? What else can you ask? Which was the best class? Huh?
What was your favorite thing of your day?
What was your favorite thing of the day? Did you talk to the girl or boy that you liked? Was it really good food today, or was it the crappy food as always? Something fun. Something. Honey, how was your day at work? No. Did you get any new ideas? Are you looking forward to something in work? Are you wanting to bring something up in the next meeting? Do you really want to stay in this job for 2 more years, 3 more years? Is this something you look forward to every day? Have those conversations with yourself and your partner, if you have one. Okay, so engaging. Okay, so now I have given you a sticker that has Save, Love, Loving, and Engage. Whoever doesn't have one, raise your hand. Anybody else? Okay, 1, 2, 3, okay. Listening.
No, it's a new one. I wasn't here.
No, Save, Love, Loving, and Engage.
We have 2.
Save, Love, Loving, and Engage. It has to say Save, Love, Loving, and Engage.
Yes.
How many still are missing?
You just give some love.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay.
Low and bowing.
I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, I didn't count very well this time.
It's all good.
Yeah, 4, right? Okay. There you go. Who else? Who else? Go with me. Okay. Now find a person that has a sticker with your word or a paper with your word. Love it. And stand up because you're going to change partners. You're changing partners now.
No, see, I want to see.
Gina, one of you will go say with the paper. Excuse me, if it's a paper, you have to find the person with the paper. If it's a sticker, you have to find the person.
Okay, so I have to find the word with
Yes.
Okay, nothing. On my way. Let's look at it.
But you can
Yes, yes.
I don't think there's, is there any loving people in here?
Are you moving again?
Joyce.
You.
Oh, I finally Joyce. Truckload of pumpkins.
There you go.
Okay, there, let me move over.
Okay, sit down near them. Beside them, sit beside them.
I'm with.
Sit beside them somehow.
I can-
Yeah.